ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In my school, especially in special education in my school, yesterday's fire drill really came out of nowhere. I was not told that the drill was going to happen. It really came out of nowhere. Well, they need to keep the drill a surprise so they can pretend like it's a real emergency. I was really not expecting them to do a drill just 3 days after spring break ended. But they did do one. And all of my April fire drills in school were, in fact, in this week alone. In past years. And unfortunately, on this day, 6 years ago, believe it or not, yep, today is April 14th. And it's April 14th, 2022, Thursday. Believe it or not, on April 14th, 2016, which was also a Thursday, which was 6 years ago today, someone that was several years younger than me in my elementary school pulled the fire alarm in the gymnasium. At approximately 2:28 p.m., the fire alarm went off in my elementary school, and I thought it was our April drill in that school. But the school administrators came over the loudspeaker and said, "Attention all faculty and students, this was not a planned drill. Someone has pulled the alarm and caused it to go off, and the person that did it must be reported to my office immediately." And one of the assistant teachers said that one of the students in my classroom actually pulled the alarm. And the fire alarms in that school that went off that day were white circular ceiling mount Edwards EST Genesis horn strobes. Because remember, that building got remodeled. And before the building got remodeled, it was Edwards EST 892 electronic horn strobes with the dual fire lettering on the lens of the strobe, and the pull station that was pulled was a Edwards EST 270 SPO. That has pull in case of fire text on the pull bar. But there was no fire and it was pulled. Clearly, elementary school students' eyes are too little to read the text on it. Unbelievable. So, they pulled the alarm. Because they couldn't read what the darn thing says on those things. And it was a pain in the butt to reset. Because those things need a screwdriver. I will show you one. I actually have a picture of it. This was the thing that was pulled 6 years ago in my elementary school gymnasium. It was obviously the newer ones that had EST instead of this E. And it was a pain in the butt to reset. Like these things always were because of a screwdriver. These things need a screwdriver instead of a key. Man, that was bad. That student got into big trouble. And that was the last time that a student pulled the alarm in a school I went to. But ever since 6 years ago, that has never happened. And I hope it never happens again. And the good news is that in any of the schools I went to, none of the fire alarms were tampered with. That is the good news. On this day, 6 years ago, the fire alarms in my elementary school were not coming off the ceiling or the wall. But on this day, 6 years ago, after the alarm was pulled, no one took it off the wall. Remember, never pull fire alarms for fun. Never tamper with fire alarm equipment. I hope this kid learned his lesson because he is in high school. And if you are in high school and you pull the alarm, you are going to get arrested because it is not a toy. I cannot believe that it's been 6 years since this happened. Thankfully, no one has pulled the fire alarm ever since. The only time the fire alarm was pulled ever since 6 years ago today was during fire drills or if there was a real fire in the building, but not by a student causing trouble since 6 years ago today. Because the students know better now. I hope he really did learn his lesson. He did learn his lesson. Good, because if he didn't, and he pulls the alarm now, he would be locked up in jail. I mean it. Because it is not a toy, it is a life safety device. Man, I cannot believe what happened 6 years ago today. You better, if any of you like to pull fire alarms for fun at school, Well, you are dumb and don't care about other people's lives. On April 14th of 2016, there could have been a real fire somewhere else that day. And because one of the students pulled the alarm in our elementary school, people died that day in the real fire because the fire department was not there, because they had to come to our elementary school because some stupid kid in the gymnasium decided to pull the fire alarm. Not good. Ugh. I really cannot understand this. Thank goodness this crap stopped, and I hope this crap never starts again. Thankfully, he was younger, but if he were older and he did this, then he would be locked up in jail by the police. I mean it. You don't ever pull the fire alarm unless there is a fire, or if you have permission to do it for a fire drill or a fire alarm system test, or if you have your own fire alarm system at home that doesn't contact the fire department. But other than that, do not pull the alarm, or else you are going to get in big trouble. Yeah, tell that to the person that did it 6 years ago in my elementary school, and I darn hope, well, that he learned his lesson. He did. If he didn't, then he would be in dead meat. Huh. I cannot stand this crap. This crap has got to stop. I really hate it when kids mess with fire alarms in schools. Bye.